Okay, good evening. Welcome to the October 22nd, 2018 Board of Directors meeting of the Sewer Authority Midcoastside. The meeting is called to order. May we have roll call, please?
Director Reddick?
Here.
Director Slater-Carter?
Present.
Director Warren?
Here.
Chair Blanchard?
Here.
Director Penrose?
Here.
And Director Boyd, who is late.
Okay,
What's this thing here?
and then we have item 2. So we have any public comment for items not on the agenda? So we have one which we'll have later. And so now we can go into item 3, which is getting into.
Actually, on item 2, we have a presentation.
Oh, that's good. You're right. You are right. I missed that. Sorry.
That's
Yep.
okay. So-
Important presentation.
Yes, so we're going to have a quick presentation by representatives from the Pacific Gas and Electric Company. First of all, I want to recognize that Mr. Alvarado from PG&E has driven all the way over here from Chico
Yes.
specifically for this presentation. And then also Mr. Vizcaíno, did I get it right? All right, then. He's an account manager from Gel America, is also here specifically for this presentation. So I will turn it over at this point. They'll do a quick
Thank you.
presentation.
Great, thank you, Marshall. So, first and foremost is thank you guys on behalf of PG&E. We appreciate these types of opportunities. You know, our days, our job isn't always most pleasant when we happen to collect money from customers, but today when we actually get to give some back and get to showcase the good that you guys and our customers do, it's a part of you know, why I love doing what I do. So I won't go into too much right now. I'll let Nick kind of give it's a kind of tag team effort presentation. So Nick, we'll go ahead and let you. All right, great.
Gel? What does GEL stand for?
So GEL is the GURWI Energy and Lighting. It's kind of an acronym. So GURWI is our founder, Charlie, and Energy and Lighting Company. So yeah, basically we're a full turnkey installer. We focus on LED lighting solutions, and we exclusively partner with PG&E for all these different projects, including the one that you did for the Sewer Authority here at Midcoastside. We go through just the project details. We're very honored to be part of this project. There were significant savings involved. So the total cost of the project, just an overall view of this, is $129,981. Just less than $10,000 in rebate incentives left a net cost of the project at $120,000. But the annual operating savings were quite significant. You see $45,000 a year in savings, an additional $4,000 on top of that, which we included as maintenance savings. And when we say maintenance savings, that's, you know, change out light bulbs. The great thing about solid state LED lighting is that it's a 50,000 hour, you know, up to 10-year warranty product, so we don't have to have anybody changing light bulbs, so we don't have anybody calling about lights being out, and just having better light and feeling more secure as well, especially in the exterior and the parking lots in that matter. The operating savings are 10 years, as you can see, $454,000, and for a total just below 500 at $495,000 over 10 years. And the payback period as well at the very bottom is 2.6 years, which is very quick. So it's a very nice payback for this type of project at this scale. So just an overview, how do we get these numbers to establish baselines? So just to give everybody an idea, this is the exterior lighting that we went through, and just kind of just run through it really quick. The top 400 watt metal halide is a very inefficient light source. We were able to replace that. If you look, it's 496 total watts, so it's not only the light bulb itself, but the actual ballast and everything that goes along with it. So it's almost 500 watts of power. We're able to drop that down to 150 watts, saving a significant amount of energy. On comparison, the interior as well as kind of the overall breakdown of exactly what we were able to replace. You see some significant savings as well from a lot of these troppers even above us in the other office space. We're able to save significant energy. Just kind of an overview as well as kind of what came back through PG&E's rebate incentives. So you see some nice rebates for the high bays and also the retrofit kits and the LED wrap fixtures, which are the majority of the lighting fixtures within this office. Kind of the last slide, which is the best, is kind of the overall project benefits, right? So This project saw 55% overall energy reduction and a reduction in carbon footprint, higher light quality and acuity, so just better overall consistency of light, and able to work in better conditions under that light. The elimination of maintenance, like I said before, and safer working conditions, that's very crucial, and also it's a safer environment as well when you're outside at night, walk into your car, just way better light. The continuity of lumen outputs, which will maintain at a constant over the lifetime of the fixtures. As I said before, 2.6 year payback, and that overall operational savings of $495,000 over a 10-year period. So after that, I guess I'll turn it over to Eddie to.
Thank you. So real quick, we said we're gonna make this brief, so we'll continue with that. In general, aside from this lighting project that Gel America you guys partnered with Gel America on, Kashan's been great to work with. I've been working with him for a couple of years now, and I can tell you that he doesn't leave a dollar behind when it comes to leveraging funds through other resources that he can take advantage of. So, much applaud to Kashan and of course Beverly, Ms. Marshall, for you guys' support in our programs. I wanted to, won't dwell on the lighting any further. Nick gave us that overview. But last year you guys also participated in installing a VFD, variable frequency drive, on one of the motors, right? One of the motors, the aeration blowers. So that again is another example of a project that you guys have leveraged the utility resources on. In addition to these two projects that you recently did, we talked with Kashan and we said, let's take more of a systematic, a holistic approach on what you guys' plans are near and future. And so we brought in an engineering firm that provided an energy study for you folks. We're currently in the midst of identifying some additional projects that you guys can consider for I hope implementation when and if the board approves. So, we'll continue to partner with you guys and leverage the resources. And with that, I will bring out the goodie, and if I can, on behalf of the board, Mr. Blanchard, if you can accept this. And
Woohoo!
one thing that I will note there. So. The on-bill financing program is a program that we offer where we loan customers zero interest loan money. Nick showed you the rebate in this for this lighting project. It was about roughly $10,000. That is money you do not have to pay back. The repayment obligation through the on-bill financing is that other balance of $120,000. So again, you folks leverage zero interest loan money. I think it's hard to turn down borrowing free money. So with that, congratulations. Thank you guys for continued support. So
Thank you.
didn't know if Kishan wanted a picture of the board or.
Yeah. I'll get behind you. You want to get you want to go everybody behind you?
Good. The rest of the board want to
Oh,
be there.
sure, let's all, come on, guys.
We don't get these good.
We don't get this
Yeah.
photo op very often.
Yeah, come on in.
Yeah, I know, we have the ribbon cutting.
Works.
Everybody say cheese. Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
I think this should get sent to the paper with some
I
of the
will.
details.
I will. I'll do another press release that I'm hoping they won't ignore. Thank you so very much. And I just wanted to say that this is all due to Kishan just chasing after every potential rebate dollar partnership that he can locate.
Yes,
Great to work with. Thank you. Continue your partnership.
Thank you very much.
How many kilowatts we saving?
Kilowatts, you're saving 252,000 in some change, so
In a year or?
in annual savings, correct. And so
Yes.
for the cost analysis that we did, $45,000 in annual energy savings, we multiplied that by your average rate you pay, about 18 cents a kilowatt hour. That's how we came up with that figure.
I have a real
Oops, sorry.
We do not
Pardon?
know. But we do have a contact, we have a third party that we work with as well, so. we definitely-
I have a quick question about the color of the lights that are going to come in here. In Montera, 2 or 3 years ago, the county wanted to change the streetlights, and there was a huge investigation on the color of the color that the lights were going to be, the wavelength, exactly. And I'm hoping that we don't get, I'm hoping that we're being sensitive to what the Half Moon Bay standards are for their streetlights, so that there's no radical change in color for the folks who live on this back street. Some of them have been known to get a little testy at times, so.
Well, I believe most of the light fixtures have already been changed out.
Oh,
The work
okay.
started in August and
Oh.
we have received no comments from the neighbors.
Oh, well, then that's good news.
Yes, these are the new ones as well. I will say that in the office, it was an incredibly significant change, and I really had to change my makeup regime because it was so much brighter.
It'd be nice to have side lighting though.
Yeah.
Steve, does the film look better on this?
So,
Okay.
thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yes, I have some questions
Oh.
before.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, I really do not like these lights.
Oh.
Well,
They're glaring,
Mm.
they're not diffused. Now, actually, before I get to my questions, the reason the lighting in the office area was the way it was is when the plant expansion was finished and Dixon had to squander $400,000 left over, he got permission from the board to remodel the administration building, and that included changing out all the lighting. And I insisted that the replacement lighting had to be friendly to working on computer monitors, since most of the people out there spend most of their time during the day working on a computer monitor. You don't want glaring lights coming over your shoulder. And I'm just looking out there now, it looks like that's gonna be a problem. So, Catherine asked about the outdoor lighting. Is this, is the new lighting sensitive to concerns about light pollution and not projecting any light beyond like a cone?
That's one of the beauties with LED is it's very directional, so it's got a lot better controlled. It has the capability to be a lot more directional and controlled. So I think that Gel America, they're the experts in it. I think with feedback from Kishan and company, I'm assuming that a light fixture that was suitable to meet those concerns, I'm sure was put in place.
Right.
And if to this date, I think the project was wrapped up a couple months ago. If there's been no, that's one thing that I think, if I was across the street and those lights were bothering me, I would have noticed the next day, that night, that they were installed, and probably would have brought it up to somebody's attention. But
Yeah.
I suppose if no comments have been brought up to this point, that the lights are serving their purpose in terms of their directional output.
And I know that Tim was very clear with the workers that there were some areas of particular note where we had an issue before with lights, and I know that was discussed before they even started the
Okay,
project.
thank you.
okay.
So one of my general concerns about replacing old type of lights with new stuff, which generally means LED, is it's usually used as an excuse, especially street lights. It's usually used as an excuse to make it brighter outside, which I think is always the wrong idea. Police chiefs always want it brighter, so what you end up with is twice as much light for the same power, instead of keeping the amount of light the same and reducing the power. So how much of our replacement lighting here is the same number of lumens as what it replaced?
So that's a good question. So we tried to match lumen for lumen. So we go from, a fixture like this, it'd be exactly 3,200 delivered lumens out of the fixture, like a existing fluorescent. So we try to keep everything the same. As Eddie said, everything is directional with LED, no light emitting diode, it's all one directional. So on the exterior of the building, we have wall packs that are facing down so that beam angle will not go up to the sky and cause any light pollution. But in here, another solution that you could potentially do is install dimmers. There are dimming controls to kind of further take down some light levels would be a potential option in offices and that nature. But these have the exact lumen output as the existing fixture.
Well, it's up to the people that work here to say whether or not it's a problem.
Right. Well, and I will tell you that, especially in the front gate area, it was very important for us to address the lighting concerns and the septet needs, because we do have a particular issue on the other side of the gate, and I certainly don't want the last person leaving at night or the first person coming in the morning having any concerns about the visibility of this parking lot and any safety concerns. And I've noticed an improvement in that since we had the lighting changed.
So I think my last question is, historically, in recent years, our monthly PG&E bill's been around 22,000 and a half thousand. And in the last some number of months, I didn't go cross-check it, but on tonight's warrant report, it's over 28,000. And we're supposed to get savings with PCE, and this is supposed to save money, so I don't understand why the bill is like a quarter higher now than it's traditionally been. And this is dry weather, we don't have a lot of energy costs from pumping a lot of excess water.
I will look into that. I can't off the top of my head explain that particular variance, but we were noticing and tracking a savings every month since we did the VFD, so I will check into it and see if there's a particular reason this bill had something else on it.
Yeah, please, reach out and let me know, we can, support with that analysis if there's, you also, one thing to keep in mind is, the general rate increases, we experienced a rate increase in, July, September 1 rate increase. I don't, without looking at the specific rate table of how that may have impacted you guys directly here, I can't say if it was 2.5%, 3%. But those are one thing that, if you wanted to compare apples to apples, you would do so by the kilowatt hours saved, and you would install maybe some sub-monitoring on the lighting panel where you would see, what were the actual savings on this specific project. But there's so many other variables, rate hikes, rate increases, operational changes. So until you do that, the energy savings that we provide are an engineered energy savings, whereas, Gel, and they went line by line, this light fixture used this many kilowatt hours when it's ran for 8 hours a day or 8,700 hours a year. This light energy efficiency is this, so we do a delta savings on the energy savings or on the kilowatt hours, and that's how we energy engineer the savings that we tell customers they could expect.
I think that staff needs to take a good hard look at the history, say over the last year on the kilowatt hour usage, and maybe discuss it with PCE.
Leonard, since we have a shortage of accounting staff and so on, do you think this is something that could be done maybe in a little while when we have filled those positions?
Next year.
If there's something wrong, this is thousands of dollars a month.
I understand, but I believe there's more critical accounting that we need to be paying attention to.
Up to
Now, I'm
you.
not saying it's not important, but I think working with PG&E over the time, I think that right now accounting, we're getting, we're working on the budget, it's mid-year on that, and we've got other more critical things to do. And remember that there were problems last year and complaints from your manager and my manager about the their perceived lack of timeliness on the budget, and so I think we don't want to have that problem come up again.
Alright, well, certainly make sure this doesn't fall through a crack.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will trust you to remind me.
I'll be here.
That's what I mean, you have my email.
Do we have any more comments or questions?
Thank you.
My home office lighting.
Thanks very much for
Yeah,
coming.
thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's,
Okay.
Yeah.
So now,
otherwise,
now we have to go to item 3, so now we can go into
Yes.
closed session. Okay, thank you.
Leonard, thank you for drawing that out so Scott could get here and not miss any closed session. I think that was very nice of you.
That was the point.
So you want,
Feel
okay.
so special.
I would like to,
I'm happy
I
Later?
would like to start, yes,
Okay. Thank you, okay. Okay, welcome back. We now got convened in open session, and we have nothing to report.
except that we moved in closed session and the board voted
Right.
unanimously to extend the meeting till 9:15.
Right,
That's the only thing we have to report out.
right, okay. very
So,
good.
I would like to move that we extend the meeting till 9:20.
Second.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that,
Opposed?
nobody opposed.
I opposed, I didn't say aye. I'm not going gently into this dark night.
Who seconded?
That's all right.
I understand.
That's all right.
Can we ask for public comments so I can make a motion on the agenda?
So we have, now we go into 5. So we have nobody in public comment?
I move
Now
for
we go
approval of the
6.
consent
6,
agenda.
number
Second.
6.
I wanted to hold 6 up for discussion.
Okay, so, let me just make sure that was Boyd and Slater Carter, is that what you heard?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I heard.
The one sentence justification for us to,
Hmm?
oh, you just wanna pull it, that's, I'll accept your amendment.
Which one are you pulling?
Catherine, he wants to pull that.
I will accept
So,
the amendment if it's quick.
A through
Oh, no,
E.
it's, so,
Six
we
A
moved
through
and
E.
seconded, can we go ahead and take the vote on the rest of, A through E?
Aye.
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 Okay. Okay. So now we have,
And,
all in favor,
we've got 2.5 minutes.
yeah.
So 6F, do it.
Quick.
What does the accounting tech do?
The accounting tech, we've been through this, I can certainly, give you that list of information, but it's more of the lower level day-to-day data entry, payroll entry, things like that, it's not the higher level accounting work.
Right,
Okay.
that's fine, yeah.
I move to approve item F on the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor? All in favor, say aye.
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 I
Anybody
move to
opposed?
adjourn.
So now, yeah.
Can we do 6D, 7D?
Oh, right,
7D.
7D.
Okay, so now we're gonna go to item 7. So we'll skip over. Okay, so now we're gonna go 7D. Authorize the general manager, execute the contract, Edgecom Law Group LLP.
Yes.
I move that we accept staff recommendation.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Nobody opposed, you said they did?
I move
It
to
sounded like
adjourn.
Ruddick.
Okay.
Second.
There you go.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're out.
Oh, this is good close, yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so,
Thank you, Jim, we're adjourned.
okay, so now you done, so now,
Okay,
so we've gone to the second part of the agenda, we can adjourn? Okay,
You know, that's the trouble with having all these type A
Okay,
people on the board.
the meeting now is adjourned, thank you very much for your patience. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
We had a big